Okay, so welcome back, YouTube. Thanks for joining, and thanks for everyone who's here live. Thank you so much. Before we start, let's just ask for blessings. So put your hands over your heart, close the eyes. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the great, great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, and spiritual teachers. Personally, to my spiritual teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, to Lord Mahaguru Jimeling, to our sacred teams, to Mother Earth, to our higher souls of divine selves, we humbly ask for your divine blessings, love, kindness, compassion, for divine illumination, divine oneness, abundance and prosperity, inner healing and physical healing, for the inner strength to continue with our spiritual practices, for divine assistance, divine soothing, healing energies, divine guidance and protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With gratitude, respect, and love, so be it, and so it is. Thank you. Okay, so based off of what a couple of the people on the live shared, I think that it would be good to talk about, I know we talk about this a handful of times on the channel and on live, but it's always good to revisit this subject and to talk about forgiveness and what that might look like when it comes to even new relationships we might be experiencing. I know sometimes we will experience, maybe we're in a relationship with somebody and it doesn't go well. Maybe they harm us in some way. Maybe we get cheated on, or maybe even we cheated. You know, in some cases that can happen too. And for whatever reason, maybe the relationship doesn't work out and things are not going well. And a lot of times when we experience stuff like that, that can cause us to change our perception on maybe a new relationship that we're trying to form with somebody. So what that might look like is, like, say, for example, you've been cheated on, and now you've met this new person. There's this underlying fear, or maybe even anger, resentment around, like, well, what if this person hurts me again? What if this person, like, also does the same thing? And it can be very easy to make the choice to just, like, never mind, I'm not going to do any relationship, kind of like feel that way. However, that's, I don't think, a healthy response. And it's also important for us to at least mentally understand initially that, like, this is a new person. These new situations that I'm going in are new people, and I will give it the benefit of the doubt and just move forward. So there's a couple things at play that I think are important to understand with all of this. So the first thing that's very important to do is to address the underlying emotional, mental things that are going on with whatever happened in past relationships or even current relationships. So we might be feeling anger, we might be feeling resentment, especially if, for example, if it's a case of being cheated on, there's probably a lot of resentment, maybe anger, maybe fear, whatever it is. Even disappointment could be there. And I think those are all natural to feel those things when we are hurt in some way. And it's important for us to first address what is going on inside. So let's start with that. And in order for us to really understand this concepts of releasing these emotions and letting these things go, I think it's always important to be reminded of who you really are. So there's a affirmation that my spiritual teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, often says in a lot of his meditations. And this affirmation is basically the I am affirmation. And in that I am affirmation, it says, I'm not the body, I'm not the emotions, I'm not the thoughts, I'm not even the mind, I am the soul. So let's break that down a little bit. And this is just the first part. It continues on from there. It continues on. It says, I'm being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power, one and connected with my higher soul, etc., etc. But let's break down what that means. I'm not the body. So if I were to say to you, move your left arm, and you move it around, and I say, okay, who's moving your left arm? I say, well, I am. I moved my left arm. I say, okay, interesting. So now feel an emotion. Feel happiness. Feel joy. Feel sadness. Feel anger. Feel whatever. Who's feeling those emotions? You probably say, well, I'm feeling those emotions. Okay, so now think of a thought. Think of a cat, an apple. Think of a tree. Who's thinking of those things? You probably say, well, I'm thinking of those things. So in all of those scenarios, who's the I in those scenarios? Is the I the body moving around? Is the I what we're feeling, the emotions we're feeling? Is the I the thoughts, the things we're thinking about? Or is it something beyond? And the argument of my teacher and myself is that it's something beyond. It is a being of energy, which is no mass. It's you're the soul. Some spiritual teachings talk about it and say, oh, you're the observer. You're observing these things. That's another way to look at it. But really, it's talking about the same thing, is that you are the soul. You're not this body. You're just moving the body and using the body to move and take actions, using your will. You are a being of divine love, feeling feelings, whatever the feelings are, happiness, joy, anger, sadness, whatever it is. You're also a being of divine intelligence that can use your mind to think and experience this reality. So you're the mover of your body, feeler of your feelings, thinker of your thoughts. So why is this important to understand? The reason that I'm bringing this up is that it's very important whenever we do healing to recognize and understand that all of the emotional, mental, all these experiences that we're having are not the true self, especially the emotions and the thoughts. These are not the true self. And by acknowledging that these emotions are not me, I may have created them, I may have fed them, but they are not me. It just simply by saying that, it starts to detach from you. So let's do a very short experiment to kind of show this. So what I want you to do is rub your hands together, press the insides of your palms, shake the hands out, and I'm just kind of, you probably want to do it like this for you, but I'm just going to kind of raise it up so the camera can see. But what I want you to do, with your palms facing towards each other, just be aware of the space in between the palms. So put your awareness, you can even look at it, just the space between your palms, and just gently breathe in, hold, gently breathe out, hold, gently breathe in, hold, gently breathe out, hold, gently breathe in, hold, gently breathe out, hold, gently breathe in, gently breathe out. Okay, so that should be good enough. So now with your hands, just very gently move them closer together and be aware of the palms. Be aware of any sensations in the palms, and then kind of move them apart, almost like you're playing an accordion, like bringing them closer together and bringing them farther apart. And just, what do you notice For those of you on the call, if you want to type in the chat, what are you feeling when you bring the hands closer together? What are you feeling in the hands when you bring them farther apart? And just because I don't want to like put words in your head, I'm not going to say anything yet. Just to give everyone in the chat to say something if they would like to. But what are you noticing? What are you feeling? Closer, farther apart.
When we
What was?
join our hands, we feel more secure, more complete, uh, more self-sustained, or actually kind of um, be a bit more confident.
More confident.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly confident, but we feel more complete and uh, more self-reliable, kind of. I mean, it's like a complete thing. I mean, for me, I feel like uh, I'm complete, you know. So that's that. Maybe that is uh, that shows up in confidence, you know. It's like I can handle. I'm alone enough, kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's great. That's good. Are you feeling that in the experiment we're doing right now? Is that what you're noticing like between the hands?
Yeah.
So you're feeling like confidence in the hands when you kind of push together far apart.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I haven't heard that one before. So thanks for sharing. Um, so what most people will feel when they do this experiment, they bring the hands closer together. They'll feel certain sensations in the hands. They'll feel pressure. They'll feel like they're pushing on like a balloon or like a density. And then when it comes farther apart, it's almost like that pressure lightens and like you're kind of like not pressing on a balloon anymore. It's like you're like letting go of the balloon almost. So it's kind of like you're like pressing on like something that's there. Or some people even say like it feels like magnets. Like, okay, like kind of like the magnetism of like, oh, like I'm pushing magnets together and there's something stopping it. Like something like that. So just follow me. Just kind of do this. Shake the hands out again. Now hold the hands like this. And what I want you to do is just let the left hand drop for now and look at your right hand and yeah, so the camera can see. Okay, so look at your right hand. Imagine you're holding a red apple, a bright red apple. Imagine you're holding a bright red apple in your hand. Just thinking about what would that apple look like in my hand. Just imagining that you're holding a red apple in your hand. Just keep thinking about it. What would this look like? What would it feel like in my hands if I were to hold an apple? Okay, so now take your left hand, just very gently over the palm, just very gently come down until it feels like your left hand maybe runs into something.
Yeah.
And then over the forearm, just compare. Is the sensation, does it run into something at the same height on the forearm versus maybe the hand? And for most people, what they'll notice is if you're sensitive, some people don't feel anything, but if you're sensitive, you'll notice like as you come down with the left hand, you'll notice and feel, oh, there's some kind of something here. And then when I come down on my forearm, there's not nearly as much of something there. It kind of, I go closer to the forearm before something's there. So now, again, looking at the right hand, I want you to recall a time when you ate an apple. Maybe it was delicious, maybe it wasn't good. Just remember, like, what did that feel like? Try to picture in your head what it was like to eat that apple, picturing it, feeling it. Maybe you felt like, oh, this is a yummy apple, I loved this. Or, oh, this was not a good apple, I didn't like this. Whatever the feeling is, just picture and remember and try to feel, what did that feel like, eating that apple? Just keep picturing it, imagining it, feeling that emotion, bringing it up, bringing that memory up of the last time you had an apple, or whenever. Okay, so now again, with the left hand, and I'll explain what we're doing afterwards, but with the left hand, come down, and again, you're just feeling where does my hand, like over the right palm, where does my hand start to run into something, start to feel like a certain sensation? And then again, comparing it to, say, like the forearm. What are you noticing? What are you feeling? If anyone in the call would like to share, you're more than welcome to either type in the chat or speak up. What are you noticing? What are you feeling? Do you notice anything compared to the forearm, compared to like the hand? So for some people, I would say for a lot of people I've done this experiment with, after you feel and remember what it was like to eat that apple, it's almost like that something is bigger now. So like before it might have been down here, and now it's like, oh, like now I feel it maybe more up here, or more up here, or wherever it might be. So now just follow me and say, disintegrate, disintegrate, disintegrate. And shake the hands out. And then again, hold the right hand up and take your left hand, just very gently come down and just feel, is that sensation still present in the right hand? Comparing to the forearm, is it there anymore? For most people, they'll notice like, oh, like that sensation, like it's gone now. Like whatever was there, it's gone now. It's very like similar, the aura, whatever my hand's running into, it's kind of the same on the forearm and the hand. So let's talk about what that is. What you did there, that experiment was you, the soul, created a thought form of an apple, like a virtual image. If you're clairvoyant people would see like, oh, it kind of looks like an apple there. If you're clairvoyant, you might be able to see that. I would say most people probably not. But what you did was you created you used the mental energy to create a thought form. And then when we were feeling it, remembering what that was like to eat the apple, we were then adding an emotional element to that thought form. Like, oh, it felt like I enjoyed that apple. It was really good biting into it. It was crispy. It was crunchy, whatever. Felt good to eat it. And the reason that I'm taking us through this experiment is that it's very important for us to understand that when we experience certain emotions based off of an event that happened, these emotions, these thoughts will be created by you, the soul, based off of something that happened. And those emotions and thoughts are just energy, typically stored somewhere in the body or floating around in the aura around the body. So somewhere in the system, the body, there's certain energy centers, some people call them chakras. Certain energy centers will store these emotional, mental things, depending on what it is. So for example, the liver tends to create and store a lot of anger and resentment. The stomach will tend to create and store a lot of anxieties, fears. You ever hear people talk about like butterflies in their stomach? That's the anxiety being created there. Kidneys will also create and store a lot of deeper fears. If you have a lot of negative self-talk or if you have trouble expressing yourself, that will show up in the throat. And the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up and illustrating this is to help you understand that the more we mentally understand what it is that's happening with the body, the easier the healing will be when we're trying to release these things. The problem that a lot of people run into is that a lot of people will identify with their emotions or with their thoughts. So, for example, you might hear some people say, like, I'm just an angry person. I'm just always angry. Or I'm just an anxious person. Or I'm just a untrusting person. I don't trust easily, whatever. And what you're doing when you say stuff like that is you're reinforcing a belief that you will always be that way. And energetically, what's happening is you are feeding that energy. So, say, for example, you're saying that you're always an angry person. You're feeding that energy of anger in the body and keeping it there, and just continually adding on to it, and it will just continually build up and eventually cause a lot of problems in the body if you keep holding on to it. So the really easy fix, at least with that kind of thing, if you are saying stuff like that, try to catch yourself, and instead of saying things like, I'm just an angry person or I'm always angry, shift the way you speak to, in this moment, I feel angry, or in this moment, I feel anxious, or in this moment, I feel whatever you're feeling. And it is in this like difference that you begin to allow yourself to then release the emotions or whatever is present. So if you say, it's always going to be like this, then it will always be like this. It'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy and it'll never change. Versus, this is how it is right now. Everything is subject to change. I'll get through this. We'll get to a different point in my life and things will get better. Is a much different energy, much different viewpoint, I would say, on the world. So what does this have to do with like forgiveness or relationships? Some of you might be thinking. It's important for us, especially when we're going into new relationships, or if we are going into new situations, or maybe even current situations. It's important for us to do our spiritual practice, do our meditation, do our healings, or whatever it is, to release these things, maybe even go into therapy, and to kind of dig out and release the emotional, mental stuff. There's many reasons why I think this is important. The first reason is more simply is just like we don't want to hold on to this, because it's like, who wants to hold on to anger? Because you just end up like kind of rotting inside. It just doesn't feel good to continually be angry all the time. The other thing with that is that if you've ever studied any kind of spiritual teachings, you've probably heard people talk about the law of attraction. And a lot of times when people talk about the law of attraction, they'll say things like, oh, just feel what you want to feel, think about what you want to manifest in your life, and then it'll come to you. And that's great, and that's really wonderful. However, a lot of the times they're missing the other element to that, is that there's the law of attraction, and there's also the law of repulsion. So if, for example, prosperity is trying to come in your life, there's prosperity energies trying to be attracted, or you're trying to bring them in. If you deep down think you don't deserve that energy, that belief will push it away. It'll repel it. It'll repulse it. And that prosperity energy will not enter into your life because you believe you don't deserve it. So it's important for us to then dig out and release that emotion, that energy, that belief, whatever it is, so that we can attract what we want to attract in our life. It's the same thing with, I think a more real example would be, for example, if you gossip a lot. So a lot of people, I see this a lot in like work environments, for example, or even friend groups, where something will happen, and then people will go to each other and go like, oh, like, did you hear what like Susan said? She blah, 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 said all these things, or did all these things, whatever it was. And they're kind of gossiping and talking negatively about the other person. What ends up happening if you allow yourself to do that and allow yourself to be around that is that you will then attract more of that energy because that's what you're putting out. So you're putting out this like complaining about other people, gossiping, negativity, all these different things through the law of karma, which the law of karma states that everything we put out will be amplified and come back to us. So through the law of karma, we're putting out gossip, speaking negatively about people, that will come back to us. Now, other people will probably be gossiping about us, maybe speaking negatively about us, or whatever. Or we might find ourselves surrounded by a bunch of people that do that. For example, like if you're also feeling angry all the time, you might notice that after a certain amount of time has passed, you're like, wow, everyone around me is always angry too. They're very angry people that I'm surrounded with. And this can be a way to like reflect and understand, I'm seeing this in someone else, and asking yourself this really key question: where in me is this present? Where am I doing these tendencies? Am I doing these tendencies? So say, for example, I notice somebody is really angry about certain things, somebody's projecting or doing whatever. Have there been times in my life where I've done something similar? Do I have certain thoughts or emotions or even have I taken physical actions or said things that are reflections of what I'm seeing in this other person? And by asking yourself this question, you then turn it back on yourself and then begin to reflect and understand, what is it that I might be doing that attracted this into my life? So this comes back to this feeling of trust in new people or even current people. Is there's a lot of elements. The first element is like, where is it in myself that I might be doing things like this? Maybe someone cheated on this. Have I ever cheated? Maybe, maybe not. Have I ever thought about it? Have I ever felt about things about it? Are there certain things that maybe I've done? Maybe it's not cheating in a relationship. Maybe I've cheated on tests or I've stolen things or whatever. Really taking a hard look and being honest with yourself. Where in my life have I done things to attract this type of experience in my life? And then forgiving yourself, having grace, and then letting these things go. So this is important, an important piece to it. And another kind of secondary, not necessarily secondary, but another important piece to that, another addition to that as well, is that it's also important for us to be able to communicate properly and to be able to set and hold boundaries. So, for example, if someone does something we don't like, we need to be able to say that to them, like, hey, I didn't like this thing that you did. And if it needs to happen, setting a boundary. So that's going to be different in every situation depending on what it is, but the framework is that, okay, this thing happened, I didn't enjoy it, I didn't like it, so now I need to express that and say that to the person, hopefully not in an angry way, in a nice and kind way, and set, if needed, set a boundary. This is what I'm going to do. This is what the boundary is. This is how I'm going to react, because I can't control you. I can't control anything you do. But if you do these actions, this is how I will respond. So, like, for example, what's a simple example? Let's say, for example, somebody uses your favorite cup in the kitchen and then they don't clean it, or they're just simply using your favorite cup. Just a really simple, dumb example. So they use your favorite cup and then you feel like upset about it. You're like, how could they do this? Whatever. Maybe they didn't know it was your favorite cup. Maybe they had no idea and they're just like, oh, it's a cup, I'm just going to use it. So then we get the opportunity to then go have a conversation with them and ask, like, hey, like, I didn't like that you used this cup because it's my favorite cup and I want it just for me. And I would appreciate it if you didn't use this moving forward. And then maybe they stop doing that, and that'd be great. They understand the boundary, they honor it, and then things are good. But if they keep kind of crossing over the boundary, then there has to be slow escalations around what you do. Like, for example, like, okay, if they keep on using the cup, they're not listening to me asking them not to. So now I'm going to remove the cup and hold on to it and put it in a safer spot so they don't keep using it, for just like a simple example. So it's these kinds of progressions that are important to understand. And to kind of wrap up this talk, and then we'll do a little exercise, then go into the sound and pranic healing. There's really two things to understand with all of this. There are two types of forgivenesses. There's outer forgiveness and there's inner forgiveness. And these are, again, teachings from my teacher, Master Chokok Sui, that I'm sharing with you. Outer forgiveness is for most, but not all. Inner forgiveness is for all, no matter what, no matter how justified. So what does that mean exactly? Outer forgiveness is basically like what you do with the person. What speech, what actions, how you interact with them, what kind of things happen in the external world when you're interacting with this person. Inner forgiveness is how you internally feel about this person. It is very simply that. It's how you internally feel. So, ideally, letting go of the anger, the resentment, the fear, the whatever it might be, so that you can forgive, you can disconnect, let go of this person or whatever, disconnect from the emotions at the very least, letting the emotions out, and then from there deciding, what is it do I want to do with this person? What words, what actions, what needs to be done? Do I need to do anything? And if so, going and taking those actions. And it's very important to recognize and ask and be aware if you are doing these actions out of anger, resentment, vengeance, revenge, whatever it might be. If you're doing it out of those actions, then you have not forgiven the person and you are just perpetuating the anger, the feeling of anger in yourself. Versus, is this a necessary step? Do I just need to do this? This is something I just have to do. Maybe I don't want to, but I have to do this. Then that's more of a sign that you have forgiven and that you are just taking the actions. Okay. I've said a lot of things. Does anyone in the chat have any questions about anything that I've shared so far? And for those of you on YouTube, feel free to comment down below and ask a question. I'll do my best to respond. Okay, so let's do a short experiment. Let's make this a little more real. So what I want you to do is think about somebody that you feel upset towards. Somebody that you feel some amount of anger towards. And before we do this exercise, I just want you to rate it out of 10. How angry do you feel towards this person right now? So 10 being really angry, could never forgive them. I feel like I'm just so angry. And 0 being like, not at all. And for those of you on Zoom, just write in the chat, what is your number out of 10 towards this person right now? Okay, a 7. And there's a reason why we're asking this is because I want to get a gauge of like, did anything change before and after we do this exercise? Okay. So what I want you to do, put your hands over your heart, close your eyes. Imagine that you're looking at this person about 10 feet, 15 feet away from you, maybe 9 meters if you're using meters. And I want you just to verbally repeat after me. So looking at this person, just verbally say, Namaste. The divinity in me salutes the divinity in you. Namaste. Now just imagine this person is turning into brilliant light. Their body is disappearing in this brilliant light, because after all, we're forgiving the soul, not the body. And again, verbally say, Namaste. The divinity in me salutes the divinity in you. Namaste. We are all children of God. We are all growing and evolving. Evolution involves time, process, and lots of mistakes. I've had my share of mistakes and learned from them. So can you. I wish you the same. May God's peace and love be with my soul, and may God's peace and love be with your soul. Namaste. So now be aware of the lower back, be aware of the upper back, the back heart chakra, be aware of the crown, the top of your head. Be aware of a brilliant light floating just above the crown. So awareness on these 4 spots. So bring awareness to the lower back. Breathe in through the nose. Bring that awareness up. Keep breathing in, up to the upper back. Breathing in, up to the crown. Breathing in, up to the light. Breathing in and hold. And letting it go through the mouth. And verbally say, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. And just leave your awareness on the light above. Allow the emotions to transform from anger, resentment into peace, from peace into love and compassion, into forgiveness. Just allow any emotions to rise up and leave the body. Keep leaving your awareness on that light. Okay, we'll do that again. So awareness on the lower back, breathing in through the nose, bringing it up to the upper back, breathing in, up to the crown, breathing in, up to the light, breathing in and hold. And letting it go through the mouth. Verbally say, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. And leave your awareness on the light above. Again, allowing any emotions to leave, anything that rises up, just allow it to be, allow it to leave the body. Any anger, resentment, leaving the body. Okay, we'll do that one last time. So awareness on the lower back, breathing in through the nose, bringing it up to the upper back, breathing in, up to the crown, breathing in, up to the light, breathing in and hold, and letting it go through the mouth. Verbally say, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I completely release you. And just open your hands in blessing. Hands at the chest, palms facing outwards. And just verbally say, may you be blessed with inner peace, inner healing. May you also learn from your mistakes and spiritually grow. You are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I completely release you. So be it. So be it. And so it is. Namaste. Okay, just open your eyes, look at me, and just do this and say, cut, cut, cut. Okay, so how do you feel? Thinking about this person, what is the number at now? Did anything change? And for those of you in the chat, you can type your number. Just curious, what is the number at now? Okay, so from a 7 to maybe a 4 or 5. That's good. That's progress. So, one thing to be aware of with this exercise, it's very important. It's a very powerful exercise, very simple but very potent. It's important for us to repeatedly do this exercise so that we can get it down to a 0. Ideally, write out a list of all the people that you feel angry towards. Hopefully it's not a lot of people, but if it is, that's okay. And go through each person one at a time and repeat this exercise every day. You don't have to do it more than once a day, just once a day. And repeat this exercise and bring it down to a 0 for each person. And especially if your list is long, I think that I can almost guarantee that your life will be very different once you get through that list. You'll feel a lot lighter, you'll feel a lot better, especially if you do this exercise. Maybe the next 2 or 3 weeks, just set a goal to every day. I'll just set aside 5-10 minutes and do this exercise until each person on my list is at a 0 out of 10. So, one thing to also be aware of, this happens for some people. Sometimes when we do this exercise, maybe it starts at a 5 out of 10. We go through the exercise and then it's like, oh my God, now it's a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. So what's happening there is that it is being released. It's not amplifying, it is being released. But usually what the case is with those scenarios is that most likely you were not aware of how much was actually there. And as you're releasing it, the number goes up because you're being aware of what's already there. And you're just bringing more awareness to oh, there's actually a lot more than I thought initially. And now that it's coming out, I'm really more aware of how angry I feel. So in those cases, it's actually more important to continue to do the exercise, to release it all and to let it go. Because it is a process. It takes time sometimes. Sometimes it can go from a 9 down to a 0 for some people. That can happen very quickly. But other times it takes time. It takes time to process it and to let these emotions go. So just repeat the exercise every day. Again, even if the number goes up, it will go down eventually if you keep doing it. And ideally getting all those down to a 0. This exercise, the reason why I'm talking about all of this, especially when it comes to relationships and trust, by releasing all of these things, it helps us to trust and to be confident and to have the relationships, the life that we want. Because if we have all these negative things swimming around in our body, it's more difficult to attract what we want, and to bring in the life that we want. Okay. Any questions about any of that before we move on to the sound energy healing?
Yeah, I'm curious to know if there are group circumstances. So it's like a situation where there's various, numerous people involved, but they I don't want to be too specific here, but they're in the reason that you have the situation with them is because it's like a group situation, it's come from this group situation. Could you band them together? It's not it's not necessarily that it's like one of them, it's more like a conglomerative thing, like for a specific situation. It's not like one person I don't know if that makes enough sense.
So
Or would you need to do them
with
individually,
this group
irrespective?
though, each person is kind of collectively participating in this thing, though, correct? Is that
Yeah,
is that true?
potentially. Yeah.
Potentially. Okay.
Yeah, like if there's been a number of different people that have been involved in a bigger situation.
With this specific exercise, it's still important to go one at a time because it's more potent. If you try to
Yeah,
do
sure.
a bunch of people all at once, it's not as powerful, or it's not as good. It still kind of works, but it's not as good in my experience.
Yeah.
One thing to pair it with that I highly recommend everyone do, do the forgiveness technique and also do Twin Hearts meditations.
Oh,
When we
yeah.
do Twin Hearts meditations, it's kind of blessing and sending out energy to the whole world. You're acting as a channel
Yeah.
to send energy. It uses the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, and in that prayer, it says, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. So that specific line, peace, I want to sow peace, I want love and forgiveness for all beings. That is the way that we kind of let go of like anger towards groups in a way. It
Okay.
also simultaneously
Yeah.
blesses them and helps them to ideally spiritually grow over time. But that is what I would recommend, is like you do Twin Hearts, then do the forgiveness. That would be the progression I would try and do every day. And I think that will help. And if you want deeper help, I can also help too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Any other questions from anyone else? Okay, so let's shift into the sound energy healing. One of the most important things to understand when it comes to the sound energy healing is to relax, allow, and receive. The more that you relax, allow, and receive, the better all of this healing is going to work for you. It's a natural tendency of the body to want to tense up when we experience something that might be negative or not enjoyable. For example, maybe you feel anger, maybe you feel a pain, maybe your thoughts are spinning, whatever it is. It's a natural tendency for the body to kind of tense up and almost want to protect itself from whatever it is you're experiencing. One hack that I like to give everybody is, if you notice these things coming up, just silently say to yourself, I allow, and then whatever it is you're experiencing. So if it's like a pain in your body, I allow this pain. If it's anger, resentment, or some kind of emotional thing, I allow this anger, I allow this resentment, I allow, I allow, I allow. If it's a bunch of thoughts, thinking about stuff, I allow the thoughts, I allow the chatty mind, I allow, I allow, I allow. And for most people, just by simply giving yourself permission to experience these things, you then simultaneously, for most people, will allow the body to then relax. And through that relaxation, the healing will go deeper and more stuff will be released from the body. Tension holds in what is trying to be released. Relaxation allows flow, allows things to release from the body. So that is why I recommend these things. Okay, so I want you to get comfortable, either seated or laying down, and we will get started in just a second. Okay, so just inviting you to close the eyes. We're going to do a few slow, deep breaths together. So breathing in through the nose, expanding the belly like a balloon, and holding, and letting it go through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the belly like a balloon, and holding, And letting it go through the mouth. One last one, breathing in through the nose and letting it go. Allowing the breath to return to normal with the eyes still closed. I want you to imagine, sense, feel, or see this light, whitish violet light is washing over your entire body. And this light, whitish violet light is entering into every part of your being, saturating the blood, the bones, all the organs. Every cell in your body is saturated in this light, whitish violet light. And just allowing, relaxing, and letting go. Be aware of a brilliant light floating just above your head. Put your complete awareness on that brilliant light. Be aware of the brilliant light and be aware of the gap between the sounds. Be aware of the stillness in that brilliant light. Be still. Be aware. And let go. Let go. Let go. Be still. Be aware. And let go. Let go. Let go. Gently, gently coming back to the body, gently coming back, keeping the eyes closed, remaining still and aware. We'll do some gentle cleansing. Be aware of the top of your head, the crown chakra. Your crown chakra is being completely and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. All negative energies in your crown chakra are being disintegrated, extracted, properly disposed of. Now, so be it. Your crown chakra is cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. Be aware of the Ajna chakra, the place between the eyebrows. Imagine a brilliant white ball of white light with a tinge of violet, this brilliant electric violet light, entering into your Ajna chakra, the place between the eyebrows. Your Ajna chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. It is energized and it is healthy. The brilliant electric violet light is going down and entering into your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. All negative self-talk, all these negative energies are being disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of in the nearest saltwater violet flame. Your throat chakra is cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. The brilliant electric violet light is entering into your back heart chakra. Your back heart chakra is cleansed deeply and thoroughly. All negative energies disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of. Your back heart chakra is cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. The brilliant electric violet light is also entering into your front solar plexus chakra, the place between the ribs. Your front solar plexus chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies, all anger, resentment, fears, anxieties, shame, humiliation, lack of trust is now disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of. Now, so be it. Your front solar plexus chakra is cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. The back solar plexus chakra, the brilliant electric violet light is entering into your back solar plexus chakra, the place where the mid-back is located. Your back solar plexus chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all subconscious negative emotions of anger, resentment, fear, phobias, traumas, ruthlessness, hatred. All these negative energies in your back solar plexus are deeply and thoroughly cleansed, disintegrated, extracted, expelled properly into this near saltwater violet flame. So be it. So be it. Your back solar plexus chakra is cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. Now just imagine brilliant white light. This brilliant white light is entering into your navel chakra, the place where the belly button is located. Your navel chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. It is cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. The brilliant white light is also entering into your sex chakra, the place where the pubic bone is located. Your sex chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed, energized, and it is healthy. The brilliant white light is also entering into your basic chakra at the base of your spine. Your basic chakra, your entire spine is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your basic chakra is also energized and it is healthy. The brilliant white light is also entering into your soul chakras at the bottom of your feet. The soul chakras are all negative energies in the soul chakra is disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of now. So be it. Your soul chakras are cleansed, energized, and they are healthy. So be it. Okay. So just gently coming back. Moving the hands and fingers, feet and toes. And slowly and gently coming back up to a seated position and back to us. Okay, hope everyone's feeling better. Let's do a little bit of movement so I don't leave you with any energy congestion. So just want you to stand up. Okay, so standing up. Just want you to massage your face. So massage the face. Tap the top of the head going back. Top of the head going back. Tapping down to the chest. Tapping the stomach area, the right side liver area, the spleen on the left side, the whole stomach area. Just tap, tap, tap. Tapping one of the arms, going down on the outside. Coming back up, tapping the armpit, tapping the other arm, going down on the outside, coming back up, tap, 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 tap the armpit, tap the mid-back, where the kidneys are located, going down to the low back, the hips, going around the hips, going down one of the legs all the way down, coming back up the leg, coming down the other leg, tap, 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 down all the way down. Coming back up the leg. And just shake the whole body out. Just shake, shake, shake. Okay, you can sit back down if you'd like. Okay, well, thank you so much for everyone who joined and took the time to be here. Just a couple quick announcements before we wrap up. If you ever want to join these live, I do these every second and fourth Saturdays of the month, unless I'm traveling or doing something else. Every second and fourth Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. These are all free. You can join them online. Also, just watch on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe if you enjoyed that. Put a comment below. Tell me your experience. I'd love to hear what you experienced. And if you ever want to receive deeper healing, deeper help, I offer this kind of healing one-on-one. We can go a lot deeper than what I do in these kind of videos or events and really dive deep on what is going on with you and help you through the use of pranic healing. Pranic healing is a very amazing modality. There's so many protocols and procedures for how to help people with whatever ailment there is. Almost every single part of the body has a protocol for it, and almost every ailment, I should say, has a certain protocol for how to help with that and how to heal whatever is going on with that. So if that resonates with you, please reach out, DM me, set up a appointment. All the links are down below in the link tree. For those in the chat, I'll put that there in a moment if you want to connect in other ways. But other than that, I just want to express my gratitude for allowing me to serve you. Thank you so much. And let's just do a closing prayer. So put your hands over your heart. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for your great, great blessings. Thank you. To all the great, great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. To my spiritual teacher, Master Chokok Sui, Lord Mahaguru Jumeling, to our sacred teams, to Mother Earth, to our higher souls, divine selves, thank you all for your priceless blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks in a full face, so be it. Please close all portals. Thank you. Okay. All right. See you in the next one. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, bye-bye.